Another week of Clayton's season of The Bachelor has ended on a cliffhanger, and you might be wondering when, if ever, is Shanae going to be sent home? Well, I've got some good news for you. I do have an answer based off this latest preview that moves from Houston, Texas to my hometown of Toronto, Canada. Plus, they've also given us a little bit of bonus footage for the rest of the season to break down, so let's not waste any more time and get into this thing. Of course, as per usual, please refrain from posting any blatant spoilers in the comments section below, unless it's been sleuthed out, and if you want to watch the full preview without interruption, a link to that is in the description.
Wow! Look at that.
It's really important that I start to find out who's my strongest connection.
Okay, so to start this preview off, we're getting a look at the next two one-on-ones. We're now at the point in the season where there will no longer be two group dates in an episode and a single one-on-one, but instead two one-on-ones and a single group date. This roller coaster theme park date with Serene is going to be the second one-on-one from Houston that we didn't get to yet because episodes have been ending partway through the week. Here they'll be enjoying a day at the Galveston Island Pleasure Pier, as we've talked about in preview breakdowns before. This second date, however, is going to be in Toronto, Canada, where the group is going to be moving to after the rose ceremony in Houston. Now, in Toronto, there's only going to be a single one-on-one, and that's with Gabby. If you haven't already seen the preview, you'll see what I mean by that in a bit. But for now, let's continue because we're going to see more details for this one-on-one date ahead.
You gotta go for it when you think it can happen.
Sarah blindsided me in the best possible way.
I want to make sure you know every part of me.
So as you can see right here, the CN Tower is in the background for the evening portion of Gabby's date. And it also looks like they're going to be taking a helicopter to Niagara Falls during the day portion. Here with Sarah though, they're on a group date in Toronto's Distillery District. I know it well as I used to do tours there all the time a while back. This will be from the evening portion of a group date that we're going to see again later. So let's keep going.
Our relationship is going so well and you continue to surprise me.
I really don't stop thinking about you.
It's like me against 14 women. He's mine. Sorry, but not sorry, bitches.
And we have Shanae, seen here in a dress that I'm very excited about. Not because I'm a big fan of bejeweled evening wear, or not just because, but because Shanae wearing this outfit has been speckled into a lot of preview footage like here, where they cut to Shanae after Clayton addresses his final 2 or 3. But this, obviously, is a fake out. So Shanae in this outfit is going to be from the next rose ceremony, and with this out of the way, the exciting part is we don't have any more Shanae rose ceremony footage to keep her around. However, Shanae will be getting a rose this night, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. But the rose that she gets there will be her last. Other than that, we get more Rachel footage, but this is just bonus romance time thrown in from the Distillery District group date in Toronto. So, let's move on.
Shanae is toxic.
She's like a herpes outbreak. No matter how hard you try to get rid of her, she keeps coming back.
Whew, the shade. So I'm guessing that Marlena here is talking about Shanae, as the group date in Toronto is going to be, you guessed it, another one that we seem to see every season, the Bachelor Roast. And according to promo photos released by ABC, this is going to be hosted by Canadian comedian Russell Peters. Now, Shanae won't be on this date, well, unless they invite the women who aren't going to be on the group date to come, watch, and be roasted, which they actually often do. But no, Shanae is going to be on a very special third date for their week in Toronto, the 2-on-1 we'll see right ahead.
Shanae and Genevieve, only one comes out with a rose. It's a 2-on-1.
A classic Bachelor 2-on-1. And when I say classic, I don't mean the 2-on-1s like we've seen the past few seasons, like with Noah and Bennett on Tayshia's season, or like with Peter's season where he just sat Tammy and McKenna down right before the rose ceremony and eliminated one real quick before not giving the other one a rose like 10 minutes later. No, this is a traditional 2-on-1, and we'll see the full format of that in this next segment, so let's take a look before we talk more about it.
one of them is going home.
I can't imagine being on a date with her.
I don't think it can end well.
Genevieve is not going to know what hit her.
My head is spinning right now.
Alright, now this 2-on-1 is returning to its Bachelor roots, where a date card comes out announcing the 2-on-1 to everyone's surprise, the two enter the limo together and avoid eye contact, then during the day portion of the date, the lead sits down and pulls aside both women in order to figure out who he's sending home and who's getting a rose, followed by an actual date for the evening portion. And unlike the Noah and Bennett or Tammy and McKenna 2-on-1 segments, this date looks to be replacing the second 1-on-1 for the week because, well, there's actually going to be a date at the end of it. And this is how 2-on-1s used to work. Though before, they would end things by leaving the eliminated contestant stranded in the desert or on an island. So I did call my friend who works on Toronto Island, and he said there's no sign of Shanae running around, but there has been a major shrimp shortage there for the past few months, so... But okay, here's the deal on Shanae. Since she's on this 2-on-1 date in Toronto, we know she gets a rose at the upcoming rose ceremony in Houston. But that will be it. Why? Well, because Genevieve still has more footage from the previews to get to, like this stuff where it appears as though she's trying to leave.
I don't want to be here. Please, for the love of God, let me go.
But Shanae, on the other hand, after her time in this green 2-on-1 outfit, has nothing left. This is it, folks. Clayton will be eliminating Shanae at the day portion of the 2-on-1. And I'm hopeful that they will be able to fit a 1-on-1, a rose ceremony, a group date, a 1-on-1 with Gabby, and this 2-on-1 all into the next episode, and you know what, just saying that out loud gives me doubts, never mind. But if they are able to fit all that in, that would mean that next episode is Shanae's last. Seems like a lot, however, but please, Bachelor editors, I have faith in you. Let's end this now. Oh, and by the way, yesterday Clayton sent out an apology to Elizabeth, and you can read that on his socials or right here. But alright, at this point, the preview shifts into more footage from later on in the season. It's actually only about 40 seconds of footage, and most of it is stuff we've seen before and already talked about in past preview breakdowns. So I'll just cover the few new shots and anything of interest, and then at the end, we'll talk about eliminations for the next rose ceremony. So here's how the preview starts.
And later this season,
I came here for love, and I found it. I didn't believe it could happen, but I'm in love with 3 women.
Alright, pausing here because every part after this is repeated footage, like more of the date with Rachel in Iceland and another replay of the final 3 rose ceremony where Clayton says he's been intimate with both of his final 2. This time they cut to Genevieve and Shanae again, with Shanae being in her rose ceremony outfit from Houston. But the main thing I wanted to talk about in this first section is a shot here with Clayton and it looks like Susie. They're in Schönbrunn Palace, which is in Vienna, and it could be the episode before Hometowns, as typically, the first time a person gets a second 1-on-1 in a season is around the final 8 in the episode before Hometowns. We also know that Serene is getting a 1-on-1 in Austria, however, there's another 1-on-1 in store for Sarah as well, and there's also this shot with Rachel, so that's a lot of extra 1-on-1s. Any of these women could be getting an early second 1-on-1. But okay, let's now talk about the Houston Rose ceremony and who will be getting eliminated next episode before we move to Toronto. Now at this point, we are currently at 15 women, looking to eliminate 3. Obviously, Gabby, Shanae, and Genevieve are making it on, but we can also spot Susie, Serene, Eliza, and Hunter right here on the roast date, along with Marlena, and Mara and Teddy. Sarah, we also know, makes it through, and of course Rachel is looking to make it to the final 3, so she'll be getting a rose as well. Which puts us at 12 women, leaving Lindsay, Jill, and Sierra as eliminations, which makes perfect sense to me. With Jill, we have a shot of her crying in this outfit. In a past preview, Jill was one of the women that they cut to for the "I've been intimate with both of you" moment, and the rose ceremony background here seems to match the one with Shanae right here. And here, Shanae is in her outfit from the next rose ceremony in Houston. So, my thought process is same background, same rose ceremony, red outfit here crying. Makes sense to me that this night, Jill is gone. Not to mention, she's had very little screen time thus far. As for Lindsay, well, she too has not had much screen time apart from the Shanae bullying moment, and it makes sense to send her home in Houston as that's where she's from, so she can probably just walk home. And then, there's Sierra, someone who's been extremely vocal about Shanae. And if Clayton is going to keep Shanae through the next rose ceremony, it would make sense to me that Clayton has taken Shanae's side, and thus, Sierra will go. So that's it for this preview breakdown for week 5 of Clayton's season. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you did. See you all next week where it's the beginning of the end for Shanae and the endless talk of shrimp. So until then, Bachelor Fantake, out.
She's like a herpes outbreak. No matter how hard you try to get rid of her, she keeps coming back.